234 scientists combined, okay, put together an intergovernmental panel on climate change, IPCC. All right, they warn that human-induced climate change is affecting many weather and climate extremes in every region on the globe. All right, they say this is a code red because it is affecting rainfall, flooding, droughts, thawing of permafrost, sea rising, on and on and on and on and on. Code red, humans must not reach, humans must reach zero CO2 emissions sometime, okay? So greenhouse gases, that's CO2 emissions, all right, trap gas in the upper atmosphere on the planet. All right, that's carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. So that's fuel, fossil fuel. That's what's poisoning the planet according to these 234 scientists. All right, and in order to combat that, we have to go to so-called alternative energy. So the Tesla, the electric car, the windmills, the solar, on and on and on and on. Okay. So in America, we are buying into that. Most people want a cleaner energy system, but most people don't want to destroy the economy in the process. There's the clash, okay? Because the green nuts, the loons, who take this to the extreme, they want to wipe out everything, and you're not going to be able to air condition your home or heat your home, as we saw in Texas when they had the problem over the winter. And in California, you got rolling blackouts. So people are buying into, yes, but let's get the technology there. That's my view. Invest in the technology so we get away from the CO2. Okay. But then you got China, which isn't cooperating. It's not cooperating at all. All right. China's responsible for 30% of global carbon emissions. 30%. USA is 2 with 15. India is 3 with 7, and India is not cooperating. So 2 countries, China and India, are responsible for 37% of all the gunk going in the air, and they're not going to do anything about it. That presents a pretty huge problem. And that was Trump's thing. So are we going to destroy our economy when you have these countries who aren't going to cooperate with it? Why would we do that? The same situation is to develop the technology, like the Tesla, the electric cars, to a point where everybody can use them. And the same thing in heating your home and air conditioning. Develop the technology. And then we'll switch over. Not blast everything out of the water when there isn't an alternative ready. But if you deny global warming at this point, just as if you deny the efficiency of the vaccine, you're in pretty fringe territory. Now, one more thing. I went to Glacier Bay in Alaska to look at this myself with my own eyes. And I had experts from Alaska with me, and they lost about half of their glaciers there, melted. And that hadn't happened, they don't know it, before record keeping. So it is happening. Okay, now I went over a lot of stuff. If you're a premium or concierge member to BillO'Reilly.com, you get a free transcript for every show. You just have to request it. So I have all of the facts I gave you, everything, every night. If you request it, we will send it to you. Let's bring in Danielle Butcher from Dallas, Texas. She's the Executive Vice President of the American Conservation Coalition. American Conservation Coalition. It's a 501 nonprofit environmental advocacy organization. All right. But it's not a green loon deal. All right. This organization concentrates on limited government approaches to environmental issues. That's why I wanted Ms. Butcher. I didn't want some loon coming on here, yelling about stuff they can't substantiate. So first of all, Ms. Butcher, did I do or say anything incorrect?
No, Bill, I think you got it exactly right. The place that the climate change conversation is at right now is that the climate is changing. Humans do have an impact on it. We're no longer debating those things. What we're debating now is what we should do about it. And Americans are skeptical because for too long, climate change has been used as a political football by the left for economic overhauls and government takeovers. So what our organization is trying to do is bring the conversation back to reality and find solutions that can work for all Americans.
All right, now you have entree into a lot of conservative groups, the Independent Women's Forum, blah, 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 blah. When you say that, climate change is an emotional issue now. People get very heated and angry about it, correct?
Yes, that is correct. For too long, as I was saying, this issue has been used to usher in, things like the Green New Deal that would economically transform our nation. And people don't want that. They don't want to shut down fossil fuel industries. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to have to change their way of life. And so what we're saying is that there is a conservative way to approach these issues. And that means leading with innovation and letting American businesses do what they do best. We're not regulating our way out of climate change. We can only innovate our way out. And so we need to get out of the way and let entrepreneurs do just that.
Now, do you think most people, not just conservatives, but Americans in general, understand how the far left is using climate change to build a more powerful central government? And you can see it in every kind of a expenditure, and they want trillions to spend on climate change. It's about insecurity. All right, so there's food insecurity, housing insecurity, job insecurity, and they all link it back to climate change. And so we need $5 billion here for job insecurity in Louisiana because the tides are rising and the tidal marshes are receding. And they do that almost across the board. You think people are aware of that?
The fact of the matter is that 2/3 of Americans think we need to be doing more about climate change. And this is where I think conservatives have a huge responsibility to step up to the plate and show that there are ways to get out of this mess without overspending and without spending trillions of dollars on investments that aren't going to get us anywhere. We need to stop evaluating climate change plans by the number of pages they have or the number of dollars that they spend, and instead focus on technologies that will reduce emissions today. So things like nuclear energy, things like carbon capture technology, things that have traditionally been off the table for the left, conservatives should champion because that's what's going to make the fastest difference.
All right, last question. What do you say when somebody says, Danielle, I remember Rush Limbaugh, the late Rush Limbaugh, saying climate change was hooey, and this was all a big contrived thing, and the media is all the corrupt media is on board with it, and the person is just shaking their head, going, I don't buy into any of this. Can you persuade them?
The thing about climate change is that we are continuously learning more and more about it, and that's what the IPCC report also revealed. And so it makes perfect sense for someone to evaluate new information as it's presented and to change their mind. So if you are a climate skeptic and you're given new information, it's okay to change your mind, and it's actually a good thing because it shows that you're in tune with what's going on around you.
But have you changed anybody's mind, Danielle? Have you?
I like to think I have. I've spoken to hundreds of students and young professionals and even older conservatives. And I think that when you're willing to meet people where they are at and hear out their concerns and not just brush those concerns away, but explain them and rationale to them, people are very willing to have open conversations.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And that's a very smart tack, by the way, because the left, if you don't buy into everything they say about climate change, you're an idiot. You're a troglodyte, and that's how they treat it. So you engage. Danielle, thanks very much. We appreciate the conversation. Fellow Americans, I am concerned about the U.S. dollar. Huge debt, as you know. Will it stay as the world's reserve currency? That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company I recommend, and have for years, is American Hartford Gold. I trust them. I've personally done business with them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. And they make it very easy. So call them right now. Make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold shot up more than 40%. Silver, more than 60%. So don't wait. Call them now. 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.